Next, we're talking about keeping in shape. One of the things we need to do to play high notes on the trumpet is to make sure that our chops are in good shape. If you think about an athlete that has to go run a marathon, if they get up off the couch, haven't been running at all, and try to run a marathon, your legs get sore, you get blisters on your feet, etc., etc. It doesn't go so well. The same sort of thing happens when you're playing the trumpet. So if your musical journey in the day will take you into the upper register or have you playing a long time, it's always really good to be in good shape before you have to do that. So here are some tips on how to stay in good shape on the trumpet. Number one, no surprise here, lip flexibility. Now we talked about that Scott Belk book. There are some lip flexibility exercises in there that will take you through the valve pattern series, and they're really fun to play. And they will work on your chops now. So we're going to add on an endurance exercise with our flow and our ease of playing. So when our warm-up, our flexibility sounded like this. It's not taxing here, but now we're going to add on a little bit of it's taxing here. So this is what a Scott Belk exercise sounds like. And we can continue through our valve pattern series for those. Now that was a relatively easy one. They get more and more advanced and we can start getting into some really difficult stuff. So another book that we can use that has a lot of really good upper register flexibility now is by Zorn, Exploring the Trumpet's Upper Register. So this one has a lot of flexibility that is actually written in the upper register. You've developed your skills in your warm-up, playing flexibilities properly. We've added on some intermediate flexibility where it's going to take you into a more extended range. And now we're going to actually do some flexibility up in the upper register. So these exercises, it's going to be extremely important for you to remember an ease of playing. A lot of players, once we start playing high, will start to use their octave key, which is a no-no, and use a lot of pressure on your lips. This is going to cut off your ability to have your lips vibrating and to replenish a blood flow into your lips, both of which are very important to play high for a long time or to play trumpet for a long time. So the goal for these exercises is to not use a lot of pressure and to focus on flow. So all of those things we talked about in your warm-up and now in keeping in shape will continue into these upper register studies, okay? So here is an example of an upper register study from the J.D. Zorn book. So again, it's very important to think about not using a lot of pressure. You don't have to play loud, and we're going to just play very lightly in the upper register. So there's a few other tools that I'd like to tell you about that I will use to keep my chops in shape when I might have a little bit of time in between a lead playing gig. The first one that I'll use almost every night before bed is made by Warburton, and it's called a PETE, or a PEAT, and it's a personal embouchure training exercise tool, something like that. And it will help you develop the muscles in the corners of your chops, which are there to support your embouchure, your aperture, which is the important part of playing high notes. We'll get into the nitty-gritties of exactly what that relationship is in just 1 second. But that tool, the PEAT, made by Warburton, is a very helpful tool in developing the muscles needed to play in the upper register. The second tool I have already mentioned, it's that book by J.D. Zorn. It is chock full of exercises for beginning players all the way up to advanced players, and it works you from about a middle G all the way up to a double C. So it will keep any trumpet player busy for their entire life. And just to mention it again, any type of flexibility or any type of playing in the upper register will help you be a better high note player.